Remember when Sonic Team used to make non-Sonic games? Yeah, believe it or not, Sonic Team made some pretty cool non-Sonic games back in the day. And Nights into Dreams is probably one of their most well-known non-Sonic games. Nights into Dreams is one of my favorite Sega games ever made, and it might just be my favorite Sega Saturn game, I think. It's hard to say because there are a lot of really great Sega Saturn games. I love that thing. I first played this game with the Steam version on my old gaming laptop. And when I first played this game, I had no clue what I was doing, but around a year later, I decided to actually learn how to play this game. And wow, once I got the hang of it, I was hooked. I just kept replaying the levels of this game over and over and over again. I could not put it down. I eventually bought a Sega Saturn and was actually able to play it on real hardware, and man, that was such a cool experience. It was honestly better on the actual Sega Saturn. In this video today, I will obviously be looking at the original Sega Saturn game, but I will also be checking out the game's sequel, Knight's Journey of Dreams, for the Nintendo Wii. So let's begin. Nights into Dreams was released in July of 1996 in Japan, with a release in North America coming out in August. Instead of making a Sonic sequel, as that would be expected from Sonic Team, because you know, they literally have the name Sonic in the name of their development studio, they decided to make a completely different game instead. This game stars the character Knights, and man, what an absolutely unique character design Knights has. Designed by Sonic's character designer, Naoto Oshima, I absolutely adore Knights' design. It's also worth noting that Knights is a genderless character as stated by the absolute legend who designed this game, Takashi Iizuka. Nights into Dreams also stars two kids named Elliot and Claris, who are taken into this dream world. The game's plot is really not told in the game that much except for these cutscenes that play when you beat the game. But credit where credit is due, it is a very unique plot. Personally, I'm not super interested in the plot of this game, even if it is pretty cool. But what really makes this game special is the absolutely incredible gameplay. The game has 6 levels, with Elliot and Claris having 3 each respectively, but they both have the same final level. When you first start a level in this game, you take control of one of the kids, but soon enough you will find Knights, which you can transform into by walking up to them. And this is where the game truly begins. So right off the bat, this game feels absolutely incredible to control. This game was designed around the Sega Saturn 3D controller, and it feels so good with this game. The full 360-degree movement you get from this game is absolutely incredible. Seriously, good luck trying to play this game with a D-pad. Listen, the Sega Saturn D-pad is great, but a D-pad is a D-pad. This game really needs a good analog stick. This game just feels so good to move around in. I absolutely love the sense of flight it gives you. While flying, you can also press either the A, B, or C buttons to perform this drill boost here, which can make you go faster and bounce off walls. So the game feels great to control, but the actual gameplay loop complements the amazing control very well. The 2.5D levels are divided into 3 sections, which give you different paths each time, and you have 2 minutes to fly around in each of them. You can go through rings and collect stars, which both of these can raise your score, called a link. It can be super rewarding to see how many links you can get. These blue orbs can also get you more links, but these blue orbs are actually required to finish the levels. And you need 20 of them to bring to this big blue orb thingy that they call the Idia Capture. Then after that, you need to get back to the Idia Palace, which is where you started in the beginning of the level. You can actually keep playing each section of the level after you've gotten all 20 orbs to rank up your score, but if you don't get back to the Idia Palace in time, Knights will transform back into Elliot or Claris, where you have to walk back over to the Idia Palace to turn back into Knights to continue to the next section. Or if you don't bring the 20 blue orbs to the Idia Capture in time, you will have to recollect all the orbs again and pray to God that you can get back to the Idia Capture in time. Throughout this, there's a clock chasing you. As you know, this game takes place in a dream, and if it touches you, you have to restart the entire level. There's a boss at the end of each level, and they're alright, I suppose, But oh my gosh, the boss for the level Soft Museum is one of the most frustrating bosses I have ever played in a video game. It is so damn hard to dodge the cards that this boss throws at you. And if you run out of your drill boost, then you are screwed, because then it becomes 10 times harder to dodge the cards. Not only that, when you finally reach the damn thing, whose name is Jackal by the way, it starts flying all over the place when you attack it, so it's so hard to get a hold of it again. My all-time favorite boss in this game, I actually do really like this one. It's for the level Splash Garden. The boss in this level, Puffy, has an absolutely wild design, so it already sticks out in my mind for how weird it is. Like seriously, how did this get approved? But man, this boss is so fun. I just love to absolutely perfectly throw this thing to the end of the level. It's so much fun. So I absolutely love the gameplay in this game. It's just super exhilarating. It's so perfect. I adore it, if you couldn't already tell. Everything about it is it's so perfect. I absolutely adore the graphics of this game. And you know, when most people think of the Sega Saturn, they wouldn't really think of it as being good for 3D, but clearly this game disproves that myth entirely. This game is genuinely stunning. I mean, this is one of the most colorful games I have ever seen in my life. Everything here just pops out so beautifully. The lighting in this game is also incredible. It's so lush. It's probably what contributes to the bright colors of this game. This is easily one of the greatest looking games for the Sega Saturn, and the dreamlike worlds in this game are absolutely delightful. They are just an absolute treat to look at. My favorite level in this game is definitely the forest level. I don't really know why, but I just love to look at it. It's just so like deep in the forest. It's an amazing level. And my god, the music in this level is banging. That's another thing about Nights in the Dreams. The music is just wonderful. The vast majority of this game's soundtrack actually uses the Sega Saturn's internal sound chip, but the quality of the actual compositions are not hindered at all. Here's a fun fact about the soundtrack of this game. Did you know in the level select menu, the song that plays in the background actually features sound bites from Home Alone? Yeah, I'm not kidding.
Hello? Hello?
Coach, take whatever's free.
Home Alone is like a top 3 movie for me, so when I learned of this, I was absolutely stunned. And you know, once you hear it, you cannot unhear it. So Nights in the Dreams is a true Sega classic, one of the best games they ever released. But how does its sequel for the Nintendo Wii, Knight's Journey of Dreams, compare? Well, let's find out. Knight's Journey of Dreams was released for the Nintendo Wii in December of 2007, so that's about 11 years after the original game came out. There was supposed to be a sequel to the Saturn game for the Dreamcast, but that got shelved unfortunately, which was most definitely because the Dreamcast had such a short lifespan and Sonic Team was pretty damn busy working on all kinds of stuff for the Dreamcast. So one thing you will notice right out the bat is that this game has a much bigger focus on the story and cutscenes. The original Knights barely put any focus on the story. The only cutscenes you can even see in that game is when you beat the damn game. You had to actively seek out the story if you wanted to know anything about it. But in Knight's Journey of Dreams, there are a ton of cutscenes. I'm gonna be completely honest, I just do not really care about the story and cutscenes in this game very much, if I'm being just completely honest.
Get your hands off him, Riala!
Late for the party, aren't we, Knights? The visitor is coming with me.
I'm not letting you do that.
Tisk tisk. The visitor's life is in my hands. You can just stay right where you are.
No! Rihanna, don't!
That being said, I really respect their inclusion here. Like I said earlier, the original Saturn game really did not explain much in the story department, but hey, it's really cool that they did actually put the effort to explain what's going on in this game. Now, another thing that you're going to notice about this game very quickly is that the art style is a lot different. It goes for a much more realistic and detailed look compared to the original game, and I'm not sure if that was the best choice considering the Wii is pretty underpowered. I mean, you go from these beautifully rendered CGI cutscenes to this. It's pretty jarring. The new kids in this game are called Will and Helen, and honestly, I prefer how Elliot and Claris look in the original games. I just think they look too realistic and detailed for the Wii. NiGHTS looks pretty much the same with some slight character design changes. And my god, what is up with this owl? Man, I just can't quite put my finger on it, but he just looks so out of place. Anyways, enough with the cutscenes. Let's take a look at the actual gameplay. The core controls in this game are pretty much identical. The only real difference is that you have the ability to transform into different forms on the fly with the D-pad. Now, since this is a Wii game, it has multiple control options. You can play this game with just one Wii remote, and you use the sensor bar to control NiGHTS, and it's pretty rough. Very imprecise. The control methods most people will likely be using are the Wiimote and Nunchuck combo, the classic controller, and the GameCube controller. I mostly use the GameCube controller for my playthrough of this game and a little bit of the classic controller, specifically the classic controller Pro. Now, one thing I loved about the original NiGHTS was the full 360-degree control you got from the Sega Saturn 3D controller. But unfortunately, that is not retained in this game due to these control options all using the octagonal gate. Now, do not get me wrong, I absolutely love the octagonal gate, especially on the GameCube controller. It makes games like Super Monkey Ball an absolute dream to play. But for a game like NiGHTS, it doesn't work the best. The game is still totally playable, but when you have that muscle memory from the original game, it can take some time to adjust to. But man, once you adjust to it, this game is actually really good. For the most part, that is. This game plays very similar to the first game, and its spirit is alive and well in this game. The main levels, which is the first level of each respective world, are an absolute treat to play through. But there's also other levels in the worlds of this game that honestly leave a lot to be desired. They are usually pretty quick mission-based levels that can be pretty enjoyable, but they aren't nearly as good as the main levels. There's also these really out-of-place levels where you just play as the kids, and these are really not that interesting. I respect that they tried to add some variety to this game, but I can't say I'm a fan of these. Overall, my biggest issue with the gameplay is that it's just not paced very well. Like, you got these really well-designed and exhilarating flying levels that are a lot like the original game. Then the next level, you play as some stupid boat that NiGHTS transformed into for like the entire level. It's not like in the original game where, yeah, there were portions where NiGHTS would like transform into like a bobsled in the snow level, but that was only like one portion of the level. Also, some of the bosses in this game are just horrible, like this awful chameleon boss. It's just a stupid guessing game. It's horrible. But with all that said, this game is still very enjoyable. It's still a NiGHTS game after all, even with some of the issues it has. Just the feeling of flying around these environments is so enjoyable that I can look past some of its issues. Despite this game taking a more realistic look, the graphics of this game are not bad at all. And the level environments also look amazing in this game, just like in the first. I absolutely love how they look here. And the music in these levels are really damn good. I don't think the music is as catchy as the original game, but man, there is some really good stuff here. So overall, Knight's Journey of Dreams is a great follow-up to Nights into Dreams. I definitely have my complaints with it, but it truly is a great game that retains the spirit of the original Nights into Dreams very well. So yeah, Knight's Journey of Dreams, it's a winner. And yeah, that is it for the Nights into Dreams series. Nights into Dreams for the Sega Saturn and Knight's Journey of Dreams for the Nintendo Wii. And you know, for a Sega series as iconic as this one, you would expect there to be more games than this, but no, this is all we got. I mean, unless you count Christmas Nights, which is actually a pretty cool game that features one level. So yeah, I'm not gonna count that one. Unless you count the PS2 port of the original Nights into Dreams and the HD re-releases of the original Nights into Dreams for PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, and Steam, which are now delisted. I don't understand this company! If you want to play a Nights game nowadays, your only options are to either buy the physical copies of the games or piracy. Because like I said earlier, the HD re-releases of Nights into Dreams are now delisted, and Nights Journey of Dreams is stuck on the Wii. Or hey, you know, piracy is a great option too. I mean, it's not like Sega's even selling any of the Nights games anymore. They aren't losing any money off people pirating the Nights games. So anyways, have yourself a night into dreams.